Hey guys, let's talk about Jiyan. I want to talk about hit, weapons, echoes, sets, and possible team synergy as well. Everything I'm getting is off Pridewind, so it's just the information they got from the closed beta 2, which I didn't have access to. So everything is subject to change. I just wanted to really just talk about it. His basic attack has a lot of combos, which seem pretty fun. Pairing basic attacks with heavy attacks and then mid-air attacks, I feel like you can have a lot of fun with this character just off the basic attack alone. His resonance skill lets him dash forward either when he's in the air or on the ground, so he's pretty mobile. His resonance liberation looks super cool. It doesn't do one giant damage and instead summons or changes his stance into summoning a dragon, and every attack he does is counted as a heavy attack, which is important. We'll talk about that later when it comes to buffs and supports for that. His forte circuit is revolved around an energy system called Resolve, which basically either buffs his skill or you could use it to buff his resonance liberation, which seems pretty simple enough. I think he was already complex enough with trying to remember all the combos, but he has a couple of interesting inherent skills. His first one, Heavenly Balance, when you switch into him, his basic and heavy damage bonus will increase by 8% for 14 seconds. And his second one, when he hits a target, his crit hit chance increases by 1% for 8 seconds to a max of 10. So you pretty much get 10% after hitting a target 10 times. He sounds pretty good. I don't have his multipliers, so I don't know the numbers. But we're not here for that today since the game's not even out yet. But from what I'm reading based off his kit, I think people would really enjoy playing him. And from the gameplay I've seen, he's very mobile, does a lot of hits, a lot of damage, and I think if you want to roll for him, you should, because he looks like a fun character. I'm not going to talk about power creep because everyone knows that's going to happen anyways, but I'm talking about just fun here. And honestly, I feel like any character will be good enough. You just gotta build them right. The right echoes. Speaking of which, I went through all the echo sets, and the ones I think work best is either Sierra Gale or Endless Resonance. Sierra Gale increases arrow damage by 10% for a 2-set. 5-set, after he uses his intro, his arrow damage increases by 30% for 15 seconds. So this is perfect for a main DPS, because when you switch into him, he'll get that arrow damage buff, and his own inherent skill increases his basic and heavy damage by 8% for 14 seconds. And then we'll talk about the supports, which will buff him up even more with the Moonlit set as well. But before that, Endless Resonance is like the second set I would think of. Increases attack by 10%. And when he's on the field, attack increases 5% every minute and a half. Stacks up 4 times. And then increases outro damage as well. Which is, it sounds alright. But I feel like Sierra Gale is better. I mean, I guess you could do like a 2-set Sierra, 2-set Endless. But I think a full 5-set Sierra Gale would be better. I was looking at the current echoes that we have, and there's only one forecast as of the closed beta 2, which is the Phalian Beringol, that giant monkey. It's the only forecast overlord class for the Sierra Gale set. And its ability, if used, increases arrow damage and increases heavy attack. Heavy attack is extremely important, because Jiyan's liberation, his ultimate, it basically deals heavy attacks. So that echo will buff heavy attack. And there's another character I like that will also buff heavy attack again. But before that, let's go into the weapon. I think Verdant Summit is his personal weapon, the Broadblade. All resonance damage increased by 12%. Each time an intro or resonance liberation is cast, heavy attack increases by 24%, stacks 2 times, lasting 14 seconds. His personal weapon is his base. Can't deny that. The only other 5-star that was noted was Lustrous Razor, which only increases energy regen. The skill increases liberation damage. It's free, We get this off the Awakening Journey event when the game starts in the Winter Broom weapon box. I think at Union level 45 I wrote down here. It's not the best, but it is a weapon. I also looked at the 4-star weapons that we have. I think the best 4-star from the list available is Autumn Trace, because by the end of it you get 30% attack and 54% defense for 10 seconds. So the premise of this weapon, the Autumn Trace, after a basic or a heavy attack, your attack increases and your defense increases by a certain amount, totaling like 30% attack and 54% defense for 10 seconds. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I think that's the best 4-star if you don't want to use any of the 5 stars, you choose not to get his personal weapon or use the Lustrous Razor. Let's talk about his team. There's a few characters I had in mind. First is Mortefi. I know he's a fusion character, but hear me out. First is Liberation, adds a Burning Rhapsody, which causes basic hits to cause a cooperative attack with Mortefi. And his outro increases heavy attack by 38% for 14 seconds. Heavy attack by 38%. This screams Jiyan. Like, I feel like I want him in Jiyan's team. Secondly, do we want a healer or a CC? On the one hand, you can have a character like Yang or Jiangshin to CC enemies, pull them together, so you can deal like one whole big damage. Maybe that'll be great for farming in the overworld. That's one idea. Another one, you would have a healer like Baizi or Verena, which they both also buff damage as well. A problem I see is, obviously there's a limit to how long these buffs will last. For example, Mortefi's outro skill buff lasts 14 seconds, and Baizi's outro skill lasts about 6 seconds. And she also drops a Euphoniad, which when you pick it up, increases attack by 20 seconds. So Mortefi's skill, his outro skill, lasts 14 seconds or until the character leaves. So you can't go from Mortefi to Baizi. If you want to use Baizi and Mortefi, it would be best to have Baizi start, summon Euphoniad, leave on the field, do her outro. So her outro is a 30-second heal over time, and as you get healed, you get an attack boost. Every time you get healed, you get an attack boost that lasts 6 seconds with the outro skill. Switch to Mortefi, do his liberation, do his outro skill into Jiyan, which gives him the attack boost, and then Jiyan can pick up Euphoniad, and he'll still get healed by the healing over time. It doesn't note that it drops once you switch to another character. So I think that's the best way to get the attack boost, the damage increased off by Z, the liberation Burning Rhapsody from Mortefi, and his heavy attack increase. And if you want to talk about more buffs, his Echo ability that you're going to put on Jiyan, the Phalian Berengal, increases heavy attack and arrow damage. And Jiyan's own inherent skill buff, after casting the intro skill, buffs his basic and heavy damage bonus as well for 14 seconds. And then his crit hit rate. This guy's getting buffed all over the place. I feel like it might be overkill at some point, but he is pretty set. So I think Baizi and Mortefi are great together if you use it that way. But I still have yet to test it. Should you pull him? If you want, he's a cool looking character. His combat animations look great. His design looks great. His kit is phenomenal. Multipliers, don't know yet. We'll know in game. You could probably decide then if you really want him or not. And I tried my best not to pick any 5-star teammates, so Baizi you get for free. Mortefi, you'll have to roll for him, but at least he's a 4 stars, so maybe you'll be able to get him pretty easily. If not, another 4-star you could use. None is better than Mortefi at that point. You could probably just use Yang in the meantime to just CC enemies, but you know, he's already getting a lot of buffs, especially from Baizi as well. But that's it. That's all I got. If you have any corrections Let me know in the comments below any improvements I can do to my video making and recording. If you are going to pull for Jiyan, let me know. Let me know why. Let me know who you want on his team. Who do you hope for? Are you going to get his personal weapon? Yeah, just talk to me. Let's hear it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Catch my other videos. Thanks. Bye. Love you. Bye-bye.